Hi everyone, it's Kaylee and welcome back to my channel. So today, it's a little late in the season, but we're gonna talk about spooky books. We're gonna talk about spooky romance books specifically. So these are your witchy, feel-good, romancy, rom-com books. There are a lot of people out there talking about like actual spooky books and horror books. Those are the people you should get recommendations for those. If you're looking for feel-good, spooky rom-coms, I'm your girl. So let's dive right in and find out what I'm reading this September and October. The first ones I want to talk about is a really cute series by Anne Aguirre, and it is, I don't know what the series is called, but the books in it are Witch Please, Boss Witch, and Extra Witchy. And I have already read the first two. I listened to them and I loved this series. I loved it. The first two are about a set of cousins who live together and their meddlesome grandma and all the drama in the town. In the first book, this cousin ends up falling for a mundane, which is what they call somebody who isn't a witch. And in the second book, this cousin ends up falling for a witch hunter. And now the timelines of them are weird. They kind of overlap. So like when you're reading the second book, you can see the things that happened in the first book from the second sister's point of view. And so I thought that was really cool. And then the third book is about another witch that's in their coven. And there's also a fourth book called The Only Purple House in Town, and it is set in the same town, but I don't remember if we read about this, the witch in this one, she's in the coven from the first one. I can't remember. I looked up her name and it doesn't seem familiar, but I will know for certain once I start reading book 3, which I'm hoping to do the week that this is coming out. So I will let you know. I gave the first book 4 stars and the second book 5 stars. I really enjoyed this series, and the spice is pretty good too. The next series I want to talk about is by Lana Harper, and it is called The Witches of Thistle Grove. Now, I read the first book, Payback's a Witch, last year, and I really enjoyed it. It is a sapphic book. They are both witches, I believe. There's a whole like witch rival witch families thing going on in this town, and I didn't have a chance to read more than book 1 last year, so I was really excited to finish the series. Now, book 2 is From Bad to Cursed. Book 3 is Back in a Spell, and book 4 is in Charm's Way. I was really excited to read this series, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue it now. I heard some reviews about book number 3, which is about a non-binary character, and I've heard from more of like the queer non-binary community that how that character's was handled was not done very well, that their pronouns weren't respected as well. They were misgendered quite a bit, and being as how that is not my community, being non-binary, I'm a cisgendered girl, I want to respect people's feelings that way. So if they say that it's not well written, I'm not sure if I have any place to comment on whether it is or not. So that's why I'm not sure if I feel like I want to read and review the book, but I will let you know if I change my mind. I did really enjoy the first one, Payback's a Witch, which was a sapphic romance. The next one is a standalone book called The Witch is Back by Sophie H. Morgan. It's a standalone right now. I'm not sure if she's planning to continue the series or not. I have read this one already. I read it on ebook and I really enjoyed it. She is a witch who has left the society, what they call it in the book, after her kind of best friend fiance. They were like an arranged marriage, but they were friends first. He pretty much leaves her at the altar and runs away. And so she leaves the witch society and goes and opens up a bar with a friend of hers, as well as a witch friend, as well as a non-witch friend. And there's like a whole backstory with a secret sister, and there's a curse on their wedding, and he comes back to try to lift the curse. I really enjoyed it. I definitely think you should check this one out, especially if you're looking for just a quick standalone read. I 100% love this one. Definitely check it out. I will post a link to my review in the corner. The next one I plan to read is a 2-part series so far. The first one is called A Witch's Guide to Dating a Demon, and the second book, which I don't actually think comes out until November, is called A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch. So I haven't read either book yet. I have a hold on the first book on my Libby account, so I'm waiting for my name to pop up from that one. And I did request an e-arc through NetGalley for the second book. However, it's through Berkeley Publishing. And if you are on NetGalley and have tried to ever request a book from Berkeley, if you don't have 100% reading stats on NetGalley, you probably won't get approved for a Berkeley book. So I was obviously declined for that one, but I will read it in November. I will take, if I enjoyed the first one, I will read this one in November. I usually tend to only read witchy type books in September and October, and by November I have fully switched to Christmas books. But if I enjoy book 1 for this one, I might have to make an exception and read book 2. And these books are both by the author. Sarah Hawley. So I'm excited to try those. The next series is called the Supernatural Singles series by April Asher. It has 2 books already published. I read both of them last year. They are Not the Witch You Wed and Not Your Ex's Hexes. They are about 3 triplets. So the first 2 books are about the first 2 triplets, and I'm pretty sure book 3 is about the 3rd triplet. And they are witches, and they end up matching with a werewolf tribe, but they're not specifically werewolves. In that, I think they called them shifters because they don't necessarily always have to shift into wolves. So it's a really unique read. I quite enjoyed the first 2. The second book actually doesn't, I think, come out until, or the third book, sorry, doesn't, I think, come out until April, but I did get accepted for an e-arc for that one through NetGalley, and I think applications are still open for that one. So if you are interested in reading this one, you can give it a request over on NetGalley. Normally, I try to only review new e-arcs about a month before they come out, so that it gives me time to read it and review it and post my reviews and then get the reviews in. But because this is a witchy book, I'm going to read this one near the end of October. So even though it doesn't come out till April next year, or else I'd have to wait till next witchy season, and I don't want to do that. So I did enjoy the first 2 books, the first one more so than the second one, but I'm excited to read book number 3. The next 2 are a couple of books that I know nothing about. I got them in paperback form, but I didn't bring them with me when I planned to record this, so I can't show you the covers, but I will show you a picture. The first one is called Hex in the City by Kate Johnson, and the second one is called Hex Appeal, also by Kate Johnson. Oh, I 100% did not even catch that they were written by the same author. One came out last year, one just came out this year. They are not a series. They both appear to be standalones. This is what happens when you don't pay attention and you just buy a book because it has a pretty cover. And they do. Look at the covers. Pretty. So I know nothing about them. I haven't read anything. They are standalone from what I can see. I'm hoping to fit them in with my books in October. So we'll see how those ones are. So those are some of the witchy, autumny, fall, Halloween-y vibe books that I plan to read this September and October, and some ones that I have already read and that I really enjoyed, and some ones that I thought I was gonna read, but now I might not. So it's a mixed bag in this video. If you have read any of these, let me know in the comments below. If you think I should give that Lana Harper series a try, if you've read the 3 newest books, let me know, because I was really disappointed when I heard the reviews about the 3rd one, but I also want to be respectful to the community that it is written about. And so yeah, leave your comments down below and let me know whether I should read them. Have a great day. Bye.